Well, the Bucks made huge strides as a team last season. Greg, most of it came from them a step.
For all the elite teams, and the Bucks defensively were very strong. You look at the metrics that with the second best defensive rate.
Now here's Calderon. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Clock at 2. It's deflected. And out of bounds as the Bucks gain possession. Embiid, he's checked in for Sanders.
And guys, the Bucks were great across the board defensively. Top 5 in field goal percentage defense. Top 10 in three-point field goal defense. And of course, created a lot of turnovers too.
The Knicks making a switch here. Miller's checked in.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Louis Amundsen is going to pick up a foul. That's his first foul.
So good on defense is because they got back on defense. They allowed the fewest fast break points in the league. Hustling back in transition goes a long way.
Bucks making a change here. Oakland's checked in. Dishes to Vasquez. Just 5 to shoot. Milwaukee shooting their first free throws of the night.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of it.
And you know their performance at the line. It's definitely dropped off. Not the trend they were looking for.
Tyler Ennis, he's checked in for Milwaukee. And so he makes both from the line. Now here's Calderon. Defense right on him. Down low. Embiid inside. Oh, he misses the dunk.
Miss.
His defensive ability is a big factor. I mean, there's no denying that.
Here's Calderon. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Bucks ahead. They're up by 10. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Bucks.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
And Milwaukee looking at who they've got. Jennings up there with Chris Middleton. Then it's Greg Monroe. Then it's Chris Copeland. And it's Parker in the power forward position. Screen by Monroe. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Middleton can't get it to go.
And boy, how good was Chris Middleton last season? I mean, always a deep shooter who could stretch the floor. He hits the weight room in the offseason and became a much stronger defender. Now, he's one of the more promising 3-and-D guys in the league.
And Antetokounmpo's checking for Chris Copeland. Jennings drives in. And he banks in the layup. Jennings has got his second bucket. To Embiid. And he slams it one-handed.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out? Almost like the 1-2 punch.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Grant with the ball. And Jennings picks him up defensively. Grant gets to Embiid. Pass to Porzingis. Back to Embiid. Deflects the pass. That jam! Wow. I mean, just beautiful.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, I used to love to go up and jam like that.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And Greg Monroe really has had a good young career despite playing out of position for much of it. He has the size and skill set of an agile center, but was made to play power forward in Detroit once they drafted Andre Drummond, and that took some getting used to.
O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for Milwaukee. Bayless comes in for Brandon Jennings.
And with that speed, once he took off, the D just had no chance of getting back.
Well, I think they did the right thing. I mean, just give up the 2 points and move forward. Hey, discretion is the better part of valor sometimes. Write that one down, game players. Discretion is the better part of valor.
The Knicks have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today. We're talking about Greg Monroe, and Greg, you gave us a nice little synopsis. He doesn't have, Clark, the long-range jumper teams are now asking out of that position in this day and age in the NBA.
Yeah, more teams want that stretch power forward. He's not super athletic. Where he does his greatest damage is in the painted area. There's still value in that.
And Bayless kicks to Mayo. From 18 feet away. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, guys, that might also put a little spark into those guys.
Now here's Mayo. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Parker's shot is off.
You could tell he assumed he'd be able to beat the defensive coverage even though it was all over him.
Back to Anthony. 16 feet away. And the shot is long.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
The shot by Antetokounmpo. Nobody around. No good from outside. Knicks last season had a lot of problems here in Manhattan, and it showed all over the floor, Greg. And you played for this team. You know what it's like to play basketball in New York. Not a good record for them at home last year.
How about finishing 10-31 here and playing in front of a sold-out crowd every night? And one thing about New York, they're going to let you know when they're displeased. Worst home record in the East and second worst home record in the league.
Grant kicks to Galloway. Baseline jumper. Comes out of the gate empty. He's 0 for 1. The turnaround. Monroe's shot is good. And it's a 10-point Bucks lead.
With that basket, that's now 8 of the last 10 points they've surrendered coming on fast breaks.
And they just look asleep out there in terms of transition, not showing nearly enough urgency in getting back.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And what a double-double machine Greg Monroe is becoming. Top 6 for power forwards last season. Top 5 for centers. And his game is only continuing to evolve.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Joel Embiid. He's checked in for Lopez. Darius Miller comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Sasha Vujacic is checked in for Langston Galloway. And it's Calderon in for Grant.
Yeah, a bit over-eager right there. Left his feet too early.
Yeah, and if you're already boxed out like he was, just back up. Because if you don't, you're going to get called for the over-the-back foul every time.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Ennis is checked in. Goes up. And Embiid throws it down.
That's really how they're going to get back into this game, trim the lead. I mean, play tough defense, force some turnovers, and then push it to the other end.
And, Clark, those steals allow you to play in the open floor.
Lets it fly. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game. Well, Greg, the thing about Monroe, we knew he was a prolific scorer and a rebounder when he was a 5-star recruit out of high school. So, Clark, this is nothing new for him.
I think what you see, Kevin, is the added muscle coming into play and benefiting him. He's just an average athlete, but being stronger makes him more effective.
28.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
Humphries. Off the left rim and out. Pass to Porzingis. To the inside. Vujacic's shot is off.
That's not the type of opportunity.
Ennis dishes to Copeland. Here's Humphries. Another shot. Can't get the layup.
No one to blame on that one but himself.
And we finished one half of basketball. Bucks lead by 8. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. You know, Jabari Parker has been exceptional here today, guys.
You know, and as effective as he was at slashing to the hoop in that first half, even better at finishing once he got there.
Guys, we saw some amazing dunks from him. I can't imagine he'll be able to top those in these last 2 quarters, but I'd love to see him try.
And now the third quarter about to get going.
What a game for Parker. 10 points and 1 steal as well.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And New York looking at who they've got. Galloway and Melo filling out the wings. Porzingis is out there with Robin Lopez. And it's Grant in at the 1. And a fast break now for the Knicks. Grant leading the charge. Tipped away. Stolen by Middleton.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those, and this game could be over.
Here's Porzingis. He's got 7. Back to Grant. Down low. The 3 from Anthony. Rebound by Parker. Well, for Jabari Parker in his rookie year, not the kind of NBA career start that he wanted. Played great. Was probably the rookie of the year up until the time he was injured, blowing the knee and cutting his season short.
A great call. He definitely would have had a great chance. Really just made a transition seamlessly. Very efficient as a rookie before that injury, but which was a really tough thing to watch for any.
You know, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult
31.
while they're trailing.
Yeah, but still, you know what? A magnificent move to the rim.
I tell you what, guys, I don't care what the score is. That's the play we're going to remember when this game is over.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
He did not seem happy about how things are going on right now and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
Sanders checked in for New York. Calderon comes in for Grant. Calderon against Jennings. Now here's Anthony. Tight defense on him. Will not go. This is off the front iron.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
All alone.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
A room service dime by Jose Calderon.
Outside Jennings. The feed to Parker. Middleton outside. Sanders with the steal. Here's Anthony. Rejected by Monroe. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. A different look for New York. Embiid, he's checked in for Lopez. And it's Porzingis in for Larry Sanders. Bayless is checked in for Milwaukee. That's good. 31. Porzingis has got 9 points. Well, Milwaukee last year became just the 9th team in NBA history to go from Greg being the worst in the league to a playoff team.
Unbelievable what they accomplished. And they had a tough matchup in the first round with the playoff season Bulls, however. Things didn't go well, but they did get some valuable experience from that effort.
The Bucks have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight.
Well, as you said, guys, I mean, the Bucks struggled early in their series against the Bulls, but they got the momentum and forced a game 6, but then were blown out at home to end the series. Ended up losing by 54. That's right, 54. Wow.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Chris Humphries has checked in for Jabari Parker, and it's Mayo in for Brandon Jennings. Middleton the pass to Antetokounmpo. Kicks it down to Middleton. Humphries with it. Now defended by Embiid.
And as you said, the Bucks lost on their home floor. One thing about that series is the Bucks introduced their new logo. They gave away free playoff tickets to anyone that turned in their old red gear. Not a bad deal in my book.
They set the pick. Outside Mayo. Pick by Humphries.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
Here's Embiid. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It goes on Chris Middleton.
And looking at Joel Embiid, he has all the tools to be the game's next great center. He's raw, no doubt about that. And he'll have to overcome the injuries, but his combination of side speed, agility, practically unparalleled.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. It was Amundsen. He's checked in for Calderon. Lance Thomas comes in for Porzingis. Miller's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Vujacic in for Langston Galloway.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know, he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Regarding Joel Embiid, what makes him even that much more unique as a young 7-footer, excellent shot mechanics and a feathery touch. In college at Kansas, he shot Greg 63% from the floor. Many of those were face-up jumpers.
And as the season wore on, he became money at the free throw line as well. Those are the kinds of unique attributes that make him an extra scary prospect.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Jared Bayless. That's his first foul.
Personal foul.
1:35 left in the third quarter of the game. Kicks it to Vujacic. Humphries with the steal.
I mean, you've got to have more awareness on the floor and not make those kinds of errors.
Yeah, brain fade, brain neutral error, and those will cost you.
Here's Olmanson. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, guys, that might also put a little spark into those guys.
And here's Vasquez. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense. Active, and he made it a very tough shot for him.
Shoots. And the shot is good. The Bucks lead has been cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Vujacic. Here is Bayless. Picked by Humphries. And Bayless kicks to Vasquez. Vasquez has got himself on the board with 3 there.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And that.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far.